Hello, everyone. I just want to clarify a couple of things because I attended another beautiful meeting with one of my teachers about constellations, and she's actually the one who is the closest to what I call energy reading. So let me clarify. When I did the first presentation, I was still working for the Institute, and I had to link my innate skill of sensing these energetic relationships between everything to the mind mirror. So I tried to link that together. And of course, you can say that the mind mirror itself is measuring your energy field through the brain, because our brain is just the register that registers every change, and we can read this change, observe this change, monitor and make some conclusions or use it as a guidance. But let me say what's the core to me there. So the core to me is about developing your awareness to the extent that you can consciously use and benefit from amplifying your reading skills. Because our subconscious, whatever sits below the line of consciousness, however you understand these words right now, it helps us to read. We always sense that somebody is upset, that, I don't know, I've made this example many times, that this pregnant woman is happy. We want to stay away from people who carry this disappointment or irritation. We are drawn to those who are in good moods, and we want to share their joy and love for life with them. So we do have this inbuilt ability, we sense. The thing is that not every person has the same volume, or we have different dominant sensory channels. So we receive information, we read energy in different ways. In our individual ways. And intuition is exactly this voice of your subconscious that's trying to communicate. And on the very end level, of course, it comes out on the level of thought, where you hear in your mind this quick message about, oh, you'd rather take an umbrella because it's going to be raining today. And you say, no, there is no cloud in the sky. So you ignore, and then you remember this message. It was very quiet, it was very fast, but it was there. So what I mean by developing attention, that energy reading helps you to develop attention, that constellations work help you to develop attention. I mean that it's not that attention where you have to make sure that when you write, the spelling is correct and you use the right spelling, or 2 + 2 = 4 and not 5. I'm not meaning this attention. I'm meaning the attention to the subtleties, the attention to this usually low volume or less loud signal in the background that we all have but often ignore. So if you start using consciously your attention to those little voices in your head, to this background noise in form of maybe sensations, feelings, and so on, your general awareness, your intuition, your sensory capabilities will grow. That's what I mean. And that's what I want to teach. And I believe that when I share my vision, when other people share their vision, how it works for them, and if someone else noticed certain patterns or laws of how we relate to each other, or how the energy moves in between us in those relationships, it's good to know these laws, because they also help you to kind of try these rulers or certain measurements, that you can use and apply, that they're what to look at, what order is there, and if there is a disorder, you're more likely to pick it if you know what the order is like, right? So by sharing what I'm sharing in my blog and by teaching what I'm teaching, I'm exactly trying to develop your extrasensoric skills, to develop your intuition, and bring these messages to your awareness more and more. What's the benefit? Yes, you will sense more. And the benefit is that your subconscious, once again, on that subtle level, you are connected with everyone and everything. On that subtle level, for example, your body knows the reason of this disease, of this current problem. So you can consult or train yourself to extract this information from your subconscious when you need. So thus you become your own psychic, thus you become your own healer. It won't happen in one day. You learn one technique and there you go. No, it's about training. It's about inner work, right? And I receive questions why I'm not interested in the mind mirror anymore, so let me explain. I believe that the key is our inner work. I repeated it many times, so I have to repeat it again. It's like if I compare your life journey with or your inner growth, because at some stage we develop, if you look through the human development, yes, we are born into the physical body, and first our physical body needs to grow, then the brain development is catching up, then we are developing our language skills, our consciousness is kicking, our abstract thinking is kicking in, and so on. And then we'll learn, of course, along the way we'll learn how to fit within the society and comply with all the social rules and regulations. And there we come out into the adult life, but our development doesn't stop there, right? So we developed physically, mentally, emotionally, mentally, and then we continue our development. And I believe we continue developing on spiritual level, which goes beyond these games that traditionally, absorb most of the global attention at the moment. Yes, we need to sustain our physical bodies and somehow entertain ourselves or spend, invest the time of life that we were given. But this is just the surface of things. On the other side, we still continue growing and evolving and exposing ourselves to more and more experiences so that our system, our consciousness becomes more and more complex. In some ways, you can say simpler. We transmit more. It becomes complex, but at the same time, like using the language of one of my teachers, we develop this experiential mess where the more knowledge you have, the more control or understanding you have of how things operate, and thus the more control you have or mastery. You can train this mastery over yourself and over your life. And then this information, initial information in the form of knowledge, when experienced, when fully assimilated, becomes like this net or pattern that allows you to draw more energy in, more resources in, and eventually, I suppose, become a co-creator of your own life events, of your own experiences. So you consciously choose what to go through, you consciously choose your next goals, your next challenges, and your life remains meaningful. It means, for me, charged with this interest, where you are fully present and your quality of life is quite high. That's what I call conscious living. And at the same time, your life becomes more creative. And creativity, it's not about this, I can so well, or I'm a good artist, I'm a musician. It's not about this. It's creativity about how you play within your life, inside your life, how you, the lightness of even looking for new solutions, looking for new ideas, solving your everyday little puzzles, all of it, healing yourself, say in my case, and keep evolving and exploring life. To understand more, embrace more, and take on more, and transmit more, and transduce more. Because, again, at some stage, it's good to believe, or at least if you do not believe it right now, make an assumption that nothing that comes to your mind is fully yours. It's channeled down into you, and you channel it. You somehow distort it, transduce it, and you channel it out. So you are like this little cell, little node in a bigger network of consciousness, where the energy signal travels and carries messages and helps, organize events and unfold, the destiny of your life. So I hope I didn't use too many abstract words, and I made it clear and explained why I am where I am. So Mind Mirror is good to serve its purpose, to give you a feedback, to guide you, and help validate your experiences. And other things like, numerology and astrology, they are good things to know. Again, to validate what, on some deep level, you probably already know about yourself, or maybe you will betraying yourself. So through this new incoming information, external information spoken by the person you trust or believe, it gives you permission to stop betraying yourself and follow your nature more, okay? But my learning was that nevertheless, it's my own discovery, it's my own journey, it's my own inner work, I'll keep repeating this word, personal work, personal development work, transpersonal development work, spiritual awakening work, creative work. I don't know how to call it. You can apply any words you like that I just named. Don't stick to words too much. Try to look further beyond words to understand me. But this is the key. And I learned that if, I will repeat myself because I mentioned this in another post about values and goals, never ever I realized that this core value can be my major motto or slogan for life, my major engine for life that makes me move. Until I did a journey of rediscovery, this archaeological digging within myself, when I connected the dots myself, it started working. So if somebody else gives me all the right wording, but I haven't connected the dots inside myself, it wouldn't work. Somebody will say, oh, you have these talents, you're great at this and that, but if the dots are not connected inside, it still wouldn't work. So I see that not often those who come to us, like, are you Mind Mirror practitioner or other practitioner, people who come, they do not always want real change. So it's very good to understand what others are coming for. So if it's entertainment, okay, that's fine. It has a right to be there. If it's entertainment and maybe a little bit of validation, okay. If it's entertainment, validation, and permission to be yourself, so that's what I call these passages, or that show, like other people show you the way through themselves, so you can allow yourself more, you can comply with your own nature more and follow and read more, fine, through information. But then if there are other issues, deeper seated, you may require more commitment to your own inner work. And even though others may highlight the path to you, not necessarily, they cannot like walk that path for you, right? There is still a bit that you should do. And for me, the biggest joy is if I can change something. So this, the quality and the size, the amplitude of this change, even if it's a tiny change, it's more worthy in my mind, in my eyes, than just pure entertainment and letting someone just, putting fresh bandages on the wounds and telling somebody you're a good girl or you're a good boy. Real change matters. So, and that's what's the most exciting. That's the biggest challenge. It's harder, than all the previous options, but we always look at what do you really want? Do you want just replacement of your bandages, something soothing today? You want to work, but maybe you can't work because you don't have enough resource. Then shall we start building this resource for change? And then when you're ready for change, we kind of work together on this change, because there's my part I can do, and there is your part, or your client's parts that they're supposed to do. I can't take a breath for you. I can't take a move in a dance for you. So it's still after you to do it, after you received all the resources you need, and resources, of course, information, energy resources that you need, shining the light on how to connect the dots, but you eventually connect the dots. You eventually make the move, you take a breath, and we both enjoy the results of, the work that we've done. So I can celebrate and see the change. So this transformation, that's what's key for me, right? Just validation is not so interesting. Just entertainment is lots of fun, but again, not so interesting to me if there is no element of transformation. Okay, I think I've spoken enough for today and made my message clear.